Well folks, following the last disaster with putting a dash cam on, I'm going with a more traditional dash cam. Because Father's Day is coming up, I have treated myself, because I've been a good dad, to a new dash cam. Now after the last disaster, which was basically unusable for my Land Cruiser, this one is a more traditional webcam option. It's got 2K footage, it's got night vision, it's got an app, it's got GPS built in, which is a must for me. This is the Arpha A12. Now they do several versions of this. This one is the sort of mid-range product because it doesn't have full 4K, but I'm going to unbox it and see what we get here, because the spec on this looks like it will solve my dashcam problem. I'll tell you one thing, the packaging is very classy. Black with silver and gold accents. That's got quite a premium feel to it. And what do we have inside? We have the dashcam unit itself. Okay. USB-C, I like it. I've come to severely dislike anything that doesn't have USB-C these days, so that's excellent. Sticky pad there. It doesn't say if it's a 3M, it's an unbranded pad, but we'll see how we get on with it. Wi-Fi button. I wonder if that's a WPS button to make syncing easier. I'll read the instructions for that one. Doesn't come with an SD card, I think. Let's find out. Got some little cable fasteners. Oh, spare plastic. Nice touch. Oh. Electrostatic film for the windscreen. Okay, so you don't just stick it straight to the windscreen, you have to put it on this electrostatic film first. It definitely doesn't come with an SD card, but that's okay. I always have loads of these lying around. Okay. They've had their own 12-volt sockets produced as well, with their own logo on it. USB-C, that makes me happy. 24-gauge cable, that's a nice one. That's they haven't cheaped out on that. Now that is excellent. That power cable is 3.5 meters long. That's very good. None of this shorty 2-meter stuff. Right, my memory card is in. Oh, it's got
memory card error.
Alright, so power's on. I don't see any obvious controller buttons. What else do we have here? Ringtone, that's good, we've turned that off, because the USB plug-in noise does get a bit irritating from time to time, but they all have it. This has voice control. Hang on, wait a minute, I didn't even think this was a thing on dashcams yet. What is it? Turn off display. Open screen. It's actually working! Take picture. Ah, that's unbelievable. There's actually voice control that is working. Right, hang on. Turn off recording.
Recording stopped.
Open recording.
Recording started.
Turn off Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi is off.
Oh my goodness, it all
Wi-Fi
works.
is on.
It all works. Okay, that just made it for me. That is phenomenal. This is fantastic. Take picture. It just works. It just works. That is fantastic. I didn't even know dashcams had that yet. That is really great. One thing to be aware of here before you mount this.
Emergency video.
Oh, I'm rattling it too much, so it's detecting an emergency. Good that it's got shock sensors on though. If your windscreen, like mine, is tinted, mine's got a blue tint at the top, you're probably going to have it quite high up on the screen so it doesn't impede your vision while you're driving. The trade-off is that all of your footage will be slightly blue tinted, but that's not the camera's fault. Here is a small thing that I appreciate that you might not think of. This is just a regular USB cable that I've plugged in here, but Arpha have provided a right-angled connector, which means that it's about half the length. That's a thing to remember. Put the camera somewhere where the windscreen wipers are going to keep the screen clear. And I want to have it as close to this unit as possible, but a standard cable would foul. The right-angled cable allows me to get right up snug next to the mount for, well, I guess that's the rain sensor behind there. So I can get a much neater installation, which I like a lot. Now for installation, I'm fortunate enough to have 2 cigarette lighter sockets here, so I'll just pop this one out, stick the new one in, which has a red light so that you know if it's on. And at the moment it isn't, which is good because it means it's not draining my battery. Now there are no physical controls on the device itself other than the Wi-Fi direct button, and there's a little pin reset switch. But this is good because it means you just turn on the ignition and as soon as it gets power, it's on.
Waiting for pairing.
Recording started.
And there's a red light there, lets you know that it's drawing power, and when the ignition goes off, it shuts itself down. It must have a little bit of power, maybe a capacitor of some sort, because it does get about 1 second of runtime before turning itself off. Now, I mentioned the length of that power cable, just so you can grasp how great it is to have a long cable. This dash cam is currently being powered by that black wire. It is plugged into a socket in the boot section of this car. I could run this through the headlining or up a door pillar or something because it's got the 3.5 meter cable. All dash cams should come with a huge right angled cable. That is a nice feature. A small thing for me to point out, it is drawing such a small amount of wattage, it isn't even registering as a power draw. Like if I turn on something like the fridge, it tells me what the wattage is that the fridge is using. But the dash cam is using such a small amount of power, it knows that it's turned on, but it can't even register the amount of power that's in use. So that's good too, very low power. Let us begin with scanning the app. QR code in the manual there. Might be nice if there was one in the box somewhere. That would be helpful. Arpha Vision, download that. I'm going to connect to this A12 dash cam here. Enter password. Password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It is a bit of a downside that you cannot change that Wi-Fi password.
Wi-Fi is connected.
Oh, okay. Wi-Fi is connected, the camera says.
Memory card error.
It says memory card error.
Memory card error.
Format SD card, that's what I'm looking for. No TF card. I was able to sort out my SD card formatting by going to sdcard.org and downloading their formatter. Once I'd formatted it, no further problems with the memory card. Right, let's take this on a bit of a drive. Now for the all-important nighttime test. It's just after midnight now. My wife thinks I'm nuts, and I'm going to do a lap around the block here and check some of the footage with the night vision mode, as it's called. It does look brighter on the screen here than it does in front of me. The colour tone is slightly different. It looks more orange on the screen than it does in reality, but it's doing a good job of recording in low light conditions. Can I test it in complete blackout conditions? No street lights here at all, and I don't have the best headlights, but that's quite impressive for night visibility, because I'm driving a 23-year-old car here, so the headlights aren't the best. With side lights, it's as dark as the naked eye. Not much of a night vision there. There are a couple of things that I like to change, just personal preference. By default, it is using a 1-minute recording loop. Now I'm going to change that here. Just go into the settings once I'm connected to the camera. I haven't read the manual yet, but I'm just assuming like everything's useful here. So video resolution, I'm happy with the highest res. Loop recording, I'm going to take that up to 3 minutes. 3 minutes is good for me. It just means there are fewer files to sort through.
Recording started.
So if I go back here to Dashcam albums, here we have some of my videos from earlier on. Now these are all 1-minute loops. I'm going to make them 3-minute loops, just so there are fewer files to browse through here.
Recording started.
That's just my own personal preference. So I'm going to turn off the WDR, which is just a dynamic range. So I'm going to turn that off and see how it compares. G sensor is for accidents. I'll put that on medium. You know, if it detects a shock, it'll save an accident recording. I'll save that as medium for now, and I'll turn it down if it's triggering false alarms. Oh, a fatigue reminder. Oh, that's nice. So I can remind myself after 2 hours if I need to take a break of driving. That's handy. Screensaver. I don't really need to save power on a USB device, so that's fine. Oh, superb. I can turn off the annoying ringtone when it turns on. Right, let's see what the recording looks like without the wide dynamic range. Here we have a recording without the dynamic range, and that is with the wide dynamic range. So it looks like it keeps everything a bit brighter. I like that. If I want to save one of these... Right, great, I can just hit download. Is it still working in the background? No, it failed. Okay, that's a thing. You do need to keep the app open. Let me try again. If I switch app, come back, download failed. Okay, so I need to keep it in the foreground. Ah, there it is. I really do like the number of configuration options on this app. I also like that it puts the event videos into a separate folder so that it's easier to find those once you've uploaded them to a computer, without having to dig through hundreds of hours of footage. But it has to be said that the photo quality here is not great. So here is some nighttime pictures. Yeah, so it looks like it's just a still frame of the video. I don't think you could make out a number plate from a still image, but if you played back the video, you would be able to get the number plate out of it. Now, because it is Father's Day coming up, Arpha have now emailed me to offer a discount code to any of our viewers. So if you do want to pick one of these up, it would actually make a really good Father's Day gift. So I'm going to fit this now into the Land Cruiser. I'm going to get another one for the Golf, and then I'm going to do some testing on the really cheap one that I've bought too. In summary, I'm very impressed with this. For the price point, it's difficult to beat, and you can get a discount if you check out the description below, assuming that I have updated it in time. So thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts or questions, and I'll catch you in another video. Thanks everyone. Bye.